Welcome back. I, 26 female, find myself grappling with a situation that's hard to put into words. But sharing my story here might provide some insight. My husband, 26, and I have a history that spans back to our senior year of high school. We started dating in high school, and our relationship survived long distance and being in different colleges. And last year, we got married shortly after graduating. It was a beautiful and a meaningful ceremony. Our families come from a strong Christian background, which has always shaped our values, particularly when it comes to fidelity. I've never been a devoted Christian person, but I've always held a firm stance against cheating, pornography, and anything of the like. It seems ironic to write that, but that's the kind of person I used to be. Fast forward to a year later, and we made a significant move across the country to a livelier city. Our relationship was solid, filled with shared experiences, and even included adopting a puppy. I was content and had no reason to suspect anything was amiss. However, things took an unexpected turn after I got a new job over the spring break. It was a higher-paying job with a higher position, and afterward, I began to feel a shift. My interest started to evolve, my friend circle changed, and I became more distant from my husband. I admit, I was drinking more, partying with new colleagues, and things started to change in our relationship dynamics. During a work trip my job offered me, I found myself embroiled in an affair with a guy who had traveled for the same purpose as I, but from another company. The affair lasted all but 3 days, but it was intense and romantic. When I returned home, I had immediately stopped communicating with him, but after a few weeks, the temptation crept in, and I resumed talking to him on chat apps. The conversations were sexual, and I was sending suggestive pictures. It was sometime during our chats that we both learned that the other was married, and we had a good laugh. At this point, I was having a full-blown emotional affair with a married guy, and this led to tension and arguments in our marriage. And I admitted to my affair after my husband confronted me with phone records. I realized the gravity of my actions and the pain I caused, but the guilt and shame weighed heavily on me. I felt cornered, and my honesty only surfaced after being pushed to the brink. The aftermath has been filled with ups and downs, counseling, and attempts to mend our relationship. My husband has a deep sense of distrust, which I understand. I've vowed to regain his trust and prove my commitment, but the process is difficult. I can sense the love we had waning, and I fear we may never fully recover what we once had. I'm genuinely sorry for the hurt I've caused, and I'm fully committed to making things right. It's a difficult journey, and I'm navigating through my own guilt while trying to rebuild a connection that once felt unbreakable. I hope that time, therapy, and genuine effort can help us find our way back to each other, but it's a challenging road ahead. Edit. My husband did see my phone and chats, but since our conversation was strictly on Snapchat, there was basically nothing to see. My husband is willing to give me another chance, and I've cut my affair partner off completely. I do not want to ruin this chance because I might not get another. Edit 2. My husband has no way of knowing the physical aspect of my affair, and for that reason, I've never volunteered that information either. Update. Well, life certainly took a shocking turn after my last post. I never anticipated the roller coaster that awaited me. After confessing my emotional affair and working towards rebuilding trust with my husband, things seemed to be heading in a hopeful direction. We were both committed to therapy, communication, and giving our relationship another chance. However, a recent turn of events has left me in utter disbelief and questioning the person I thought I knew, and it has completely shattered my sense of trust and respect. He somehow managed to track down my affair partner on social media and coerced him to confess to the physical aspect of our affair, threatening he would break the news to his wife. I was baffled beyond words when my affair partner warned me of what he did. I could hardly imagine that he would stoop to such tactics to uncover details, since I thought he well and truly believed my version of what happened, but I guess he had been skeptical. I probably don't have the right to feel this way, but the realization that he had reached out to this man and essentially forced a confession from him left me feeling violated. The aftermath of this revelation has been as bad as anybody could assume. My husband's reaction was explosive. He shouted at me, called me names, and unleashed a torrent of anger that I had never seen before. He stormed out of the house and is yet to return 2 days later. I'm battling with mixed emotions. On one hand, I understand the hurt and pain I caused him, and I acknowledge that my actions were wrong. On the other hand, I'm struggling to come to terms with the extreme measures he took to uncover the truth. It's a heavy weight to bear, questioning the boundaries and respect within our relationship. I never imagined our journey towards healing taking such a chaotic turn. I had hoped that by acknowledging my mistakes and working together, we could salvage what we once had. But now, I'm left questioning whether our relationship can survive the storm that's been unleashed. I feel I'm at a crossroads whereby a few days later, I was feeling very hopeful. Final update. It's been a little over a month since the events that unfolded after my last post. In my last post, I mentioned how my husband left our home in a fit of anger. A few days later, he returned and demanded that I leave. He said I'm the one who shat all over our relationship, so I should be the one to be out, not him. He called me various names, and though I had no right to fight back, in the heat of the moment, I fought back. I have since left the house and found myself seeking refuge at my sister's place. The world as I knew it had crumbled around me, and the isolation of being away from our shared home felt devastating. To make matters worse, my husband went about airing my dirty laundry almost immediately to friends, family, and acquaintances. The support he received was overwhelming, and I feel like a freaking villain. I've been dealing with this bizarre mix of feeling like a total outcast while trying to dodge rumors that have probably spread like wildfire. I've been having these wild thoughts about my workplace catching wind of the drama, which has been, let's just say, an extra sprinkle of stress on this whole mess. The icing on the cake is our first wedding anniversary recently came and went. Guess what I got in the mail? Divorce papers. I guess the universe has a funny sense of timing. That hit like a freight train, a stark reminder that the life I had imagined has officially hit the skids. So here I am, tapping away from my sister's couch, surrounded by a mix of heartache and a hint of relief that I have somewhere to crash. I won't lie, it's been a brutal ride. I'm trying to process all of it, learning to cope with regrets, guilt, and this profound sense of loss. Life has thrown me a curveball, and I'm just trying to find my footing amidst the chaos. Maybe someday I'll find a way to forgive myself for the mess I got into. And who knows, maybe even build something new. For now, it's just one day at a time. Pray for me, folks. Comments. You danced your way into a scandalous tango. Hope to keep your secrets locked in the Snapchat vault, but life threw a plot twist that even Hollywood would find hard to believe. Honey, your affair's grand finale deserves its own Hollywood star, for the best worst decision ever made. Hey, just dropping in to say that I remember your original post, and it sounds like things have taken quite the turn. Life can throw some unexpected curveballs, huh? Hang in there and take it one step at a time. Story 2. I'm in a bit of a situation here, and I need to get some thoughts off my chest. So let me start by saying that I truly love my partner, and that's one thing that hasn't changed. But sometimes, love alone isn't enough to make things right. Over the past couple of years, my partner has been yapping with his concerns about my relationship with my boss. Yeah, you heard that right, my boss. I've always maintained that our bond is purely friendly, like siblings even. And honestly, at first, I thought he was just being a bit too possessive, but I tried to understand his perspective. My boss is a man in his 50s and has been sort of a mentor figure for me. He's married with kids too, but I guess he has a way with women which my partner saw right through. I was infatuated with my boss. I had fantasies, dreams, all of it. One day, I went to my boss's room and confessed everything, and that evening, he took me on his work table. Rest was history. We hooked up a few more times in his office and almost got caught once. Recently, things took a turn for the worse. My partner found of my affair. He saw a WhatsApp notification and realized what was going on in an instant. Now we're in the midst of turmoil, and my partner's feeling the pain of it all. He's hurting, and I get that. But what's really tearing me apart is that he's saying it's all my fault, and that I ended it, not him. I'm reeling from this whole situation, trying to make sense of it all. I know I hurt him deeply, and that's not something I ever wanted. I still have those memories of our beautiful moments together, times when life felt fragile and precious. So here I am, seeking solace and sharing my feelings with you all. It's a messy situation with no easy answers. The nights and mornings are tough, and it's like I'm falling into an abyss of my own making. I'm lost and hurting, but I'm also trying to pick up the pieces and figure out where to go from here. One step at a time, with the weight of my actions heavy on my heart. Comments. That's quite a situation you're in. Thanks for sharing your story, even though it must be tough. It sounds like you're wrestling with some heavy emotions right now. Betrayal is never easy to navigate, and I hope you can find a way to heal and learn from this experience. Take care of yourself. You had the nerve to play the victim here, acting as if you stumbled into this affair by accident. Your boss, your mentor, my foot. You allowed your infatuation to lead you down a path of betrayal, all while your partner's trust and heart were being crushed. And now you're here typing away about how hard it is for you to deal with the consequences. Well, guess what? You don't deserve any sympathy. You don't deserve a pat on the back for sharing your sob story. You deserve to own up to your actions, face the pain you've caused, and stop trying to play the sympathy card. Thank you for being real about your feelings and situation. It's clear that this is a challenging time for you. Owning up to your actions and sharing your story is a courageous step. Remember, mistakes don't define us. It's how we learn and grow from them that truly matters. Wishing you strength as you navigate through this and find a way forward. You've got a community here to support you.